At least 10 aid trucks and a medical team have entered Gaza from Egypt through the Rafah crossing. But the United Nations is warning that the humanitarian convoy will hardly make a difference for millions of Palestinians whose needs are becoming more dire every day. And the UN says that it's negotiating with Israel to secure more humanitarian passage into the Strip and assured that the aid will not reach Hamas militants. The UN also warns that many more people will die from catastrophic shortages of basic necessities.
We should avoid conveying the message that few trucks a day means the siege is lifted for humanitarian aid. This is not true. The current system in place is geared to fail. What is needed is meaningful and uninterrupted aid flow.
Israel is continuing its airstrikes on Gaza. The IDF insists that it's targeting Hamas. The Gazan Health Ministry has reported more than 7,000 deaths so far. A World Health Organization official says that around 1,000 unidentified bodies are still buried under the rubble in Gaza. The Israeli army has released details about a limited incursion that it conducted in the last 24 hours. Ground forces, backed by fighter jets and drones, carried out a nighttime targeted raid in the central Gaza Strip. Now, the military says that it's preparing for the next stages of the war. Meanwhile, Hamas officials say that the group would release hostages on the condition of a ceasefire in Gaza. The Israeli army says that there are some 229 captives being held in the enclave. Iran has said that Hamas is willing to release hostages to Tehran. For more, Sarah Coates joins us. She's live for us in Tel Aviv. Sarah, the UN has again warned of that dire humanitarian situation that's entrenched now in Gaza. Is there any sign of an improvement in the speed in which aid can actually enter the territory?
Hello there, Dawn. Not really. Look, so far we've seen 10 trucks. That's gone up from 8 that was reported today, crossing through the Rafah crossing into the Gaza Strip, along with a team from the International Red Cross, which also includes a war surgical team. Now, this comes as we've been really speaking about this, Dawn, for the last few weeks as these aid agencies are screaming out for help. They say they need more medication, they need more food, and they need more water. Now, just to put it in perspective, normally 500 trucks go through the Rafah crossing into the Gaza Strip every day. We do know that so far, with these 5 or 6 convoys, there have been around 90 trucks. So really, that is a big difference. Now, Dawn, just to give you a bit of a situation actually here on the ground in Israel, in Tel Aviv, we have just had 2 massive barrages of rockets sent over from the Gaza Strip. It's already been claimed by Hamas, probably the biggest barrages that have been seen here since I've been on the ground. You could see these buildings just behind me. All of the glass was shaking. All of the glass on this balcony here was shaking, and the interceptions that were happening above me by the Iron Dome missile defence system were so loud. Now, we can report the Israeli ambulance service is currently attending a home in Tel Aviv that was directly hit by a rocket. We do understand a number of people have been injured there, while another rocket that wasn't intercepted by the Iron Dome has actually hit a park. So, look, real tension in the Gaza Strip and real tension here in Israel as this fighting continues with really no sign of any let-up, Dawn.
The attacks continuing, Sarah. Meantime, a Hamas official says that the group is willing to release hostages held in Gaza, but only if Israel were to agree to a ceasefire in all of this. Is a ceasefire in the enclave even possible?
Well, look, what we've seen so far at the United Nations and also what we've seen at this meeting in Brussels with European leaders, it doesn't seem likely. Also, given what I've just told you, with Hamas continuing to fire rockets here into Israel and Israeli forces striking the Strip, it doesn't seem like any ceasefire will be reached anytime soon. But look, let me tell you, this is what these families of these hostages are calling for. They are putting so much pressure on the Israeli government, saying that there should be a ceasefire to bring these people home. There have been mass protests right here in Tel Aviv under rocket fire, I might add, for people slamming the government, saying it hasn't been doing enough to release these hostages. We do know that negotiations are ongoing with Qatar acting as a mediator. But look, at the same time, during this meeting there with Hamas and the Iranian and Russian envoys in Moscow, Hamas actually came out to say that it doesn't know where some of these hostages are, saying that they were taken by other groups in the Strip. So look, it's certainly a very worrying situation, Dawn.
Sarah, thank you for that update and continue to stay safe. Sarah Coates there, live in Tel Aviv.